Hi, I'm Dr Hayden Richards. I'm an emergency doctor in Geelong, Australia, and I'll be hosting this new daily series made to kickstart your day and the upcoming Medical Protection Spotlight on speaking up for respect. I'll be with you for only a week, and to kick it off, I want to talk a little bit about the skill of reframing. If communication is the master skill of interpersonal emotional intelligence, reframing, along with mindfulness, is, in my opinion, the master skill of intrapersonal emotional intelligence. It is the cognitive superpower of self-regulation. In a very real sense, gaining some mastery over your framing of the world will completely change your world. Let's look at an example to illustrate how powerful framing is. You're in your car, driving in heavy traffic, desperately trying to get to your Pilates class. Suddenly, a car swerves out in front of you. They were travelling too fast, and so they just need to slam on their brakes to avoid hitting the car in front of them. Even though you hit your brakes, you still can't stop in time to avoid bumping into them. It wasn't a massive crash, but you know from the sound, it's not going to be a cheap fix. Just up ahead, the other car pulls over, so you pull up behind it and turn off your engine. As you're undoing your seatbelt, all you can think about is how unbelievably stupid this person is. To swerve out in front of you like that and then slam on the brakes? Unbelievable. Not only will you now definitely miss your Pilates class, but you've also got an expensive repair job on your hands. And you'll probably have to catch public transport for at least the next week. You literally could not be more angry. As you open your car door and walk over to the other car, you are preparing to unload your fury on this ignorant person. But what you see as you look through the driver's window doesn't meet your expectations. It's a young woman with tears streaming down her face and a look of panic in her eyes. She's reaching back into the back seat, shoving an asthma puffer into a small child's face. The child looks like he's having terrible trouble breathing, and his lips are turning blue. She turns to see you at the window. I'm so sorry. He's having an asthma attack. I need to get him to hospital. In the blink of an eye, your rage is gone and replaced by compassion and the desire to help. Your Pilates class and your car suddenly seem trivial as you pull out your phone and call an ambulance. What's changed? In a certain sense, nothing's changed. So how is it possible that literally in a moment that driver has gone from someone who you literally couldn't be more angry with to someone who you desperately want to help? Well, you've been provided with new information, and that new information has caused you to reframe your understanding of the driver's intentions. The process of reframing can apply to more than just specific situations. It can apply to whole ways of seeing the world. It's a small change that can make a huge difference. Let's just say I wanted to change everything in the world to blue. I could buy some blue paint and just start painting everything blue. The walls, the plants, the window, my computer, everything. As you can imagine, if I actually wanted everything in the world to be blue, using this strategy would take quite a while. Alternatively, I could take a pair of blue lens spectacles, pop them over my eyes, and just like that, no matter where I look, everything in the world now appears blue. It's a small change for a huge difference. The key point here is that the act of changing your frame can be extremely powerful. In fact, it can completely change the way you see the world. Here's another important point. Frames can certainly work for us, but they can also work against us. So it's essential that we're aware of them and have them optimized for the best outcomes. This is especially the case when it comes to speaking up and having difficult conversations, when it's so tempting and only natural really to frame the other person's position in the worst possible light. Well, this can make us feel good and may seem to justify any frustration that we may be harbouring towards the other person. It can also serve as a real barrier to effective dialogue and will therefore impair your ability to have a good outcome. Maybe there's someone that you could bring to mind right now, someone who you work with, someone who you might have framed in an unfavourable light after an interaction that just didn't go so well. Take a moment to think, how could you reframe their actions in a way that allows you to see them in a more compassionate light? Ask yourself, what might I be missing here? What information could completely change the way I see this person? Just pick one person, make it small, make it achievable. Maybe you could start with the way you see yourself. Use the power of reframing to turn your anger and hurt into compassion. Check out the podcast description for more information about reframing. By making small changes like these every day, we can contribute to making our workplaces better, not only in the way that we care for our patients, but in the way we care for ourselves and each other.